Dayshift of Freddy's 3, the final one. Thank fuck. If I see one more strip of Foxy, I will strip my eyes out of my head. Anyway, this one's very different from the other two. We have cutscenes, detailed art, a fully working RPG, and of course, more Dave. I stand by the fact that he's my favourite character and you cannot change my mind. Yeah, he's a child murderer, but who hasn't thought about it from time to time? All that with a much more serious, streamlined story. This one feels like a completely different game. So let's get into it and find out if the more serious story takes away from the weird sense of humour that made this series what it is. This game seems to replicate Pizzeria Simulator, which is not a problem because it's my favourite one, and boy am I glad this is the guy that introduces us to the game.
I am not a child murderer.
Alright, I'm sold. This game seems to have the same story as 6, as you buy your own pizzeria and it's up to you to manage it. We instantly prove our worth by picking the best name of the bunch. It's like if McDonald's was just called Ronald and he was just constantly staring down at you. But instead we picked Fredbear Mid-Chomp. Much better. I disagree. The timeline where the... You know what? No, you're right. Okay, now I get Dave. Afterwards we get a call from the police department and when he asks my name, one clip played on my mind to repeat.
Call me Dickmaster.
A fine name that I'm sure I won't come to regret later. He then informs us that a child was killed outside our restaurant, and we already know who that was. He never changes, does he? He's great, I love him. Child murdering praise aside, we next go to a previous location of Freddy Fazbender's. What are we doing here? Well, call me Grunkle Stan, because I'm about to break in and steal an animatronic to use for my own personal gain. Let's hope I don't get fucked up. Our choices are between Withered Freddy, Toy Freddy, this fucker, and Spring Freddy. My logic was that we already had an old Withered Freddy, and I'd rather get hit by a bus than pick Bloom Boy, so... Toy Freddy, you're coming with me. Home at last. Whenever I get home from a long day, I like to get into bed and watch anime, but this talk wants to save people's souls or whatever. This next bit's not important to what we have planned, so I'll just give you the quick rundown. Purple Guy's soul's here, and he's the chill part of his soul.
I've been here for years, to be honest. Or some form of me has, at least.
This area is called the Flip Side, it's where souls go to chill after they die. Also, Purple Guy's real body is still out there committing crimes. He can sort of tap into his senses, as shown here.
Okay, I see darkness, 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 kebab, darkness. Okay, I think I'm eating a kebab in the dark.
This will be important for later. Basically, it's an RPG where you have to fight your way to a boss area and then capture them to add to your team. It's fun, but like I said, it's not important. Moving on. Yes, thank you for using my formal name. This is basically just a pizzeria building, and again, it's not important. So, as well as the 8-bit stuff, we've actually got the format we used to, and unfortunately for them, they gave me free reign. I'll just give you a highlight of the best bits. The informant informs us that we are very broke, so I gather some money together. Gamble! Woo! This is what it means to be alive! Yeah, I lost it all. If you take anything away from this video, it's to not gamble with the last $100 you have, or Faz tokens. Whoa, what the fuck is that? The Nowhere Man? I'd rather be, nowhere that... Fuck. Fuck's sake. Well, he came out of thin air. No, I don't want him. I don't care if he gets sad. Get the fuck away from me. I decided to see what the computer had on it. If you can't remember, let me give you some PTSD. Turns out the only thing to do is to read reviews and, they're pretty bad, but equally hilarious, so I'll now read one like a poetry reading, and the rest of you will probably find it really deep. Hello? Testing. Is this thing on? Hello everyone! Welcome to my poetry reading. This one's called Dangerous Staff. This phone-headed prick appears out of nowhere. Somehow, he had what I can only presume was a PTSD war flashback. He then grabbed a nearby broom as if it were a machine gun, mistakes my child for a Viet Cong soldier, and started screaming 70s era racial slurs at her. And that completely ruined our date. Thank you. Please don't kick me out. I've been thrown out of 6 poetry clubs and, I really need this, man. Whoa, things got a bit real there. Anyway, back to the theft. This time the choice is between Freddy, Foxy and Chica. Weird, there's only 3. Where's Bonnie? Oh well, Foxy's pretty cool. I'll take him, but something strange happens when we try to leave.
Why, hello there, old friend. How aren't you gonna turn around?
Yep, Dave, or more accurately, Dave Trap. And he's the 4th animatronic in the building. He's even wearing a Bonnie suit. Talk about foreshadowing. I also wanted to add that I really like the art for him. It's a huge step up from many of the previous games. Anyway, he escaped from FNAF 3 and tried to find us. And you know what? I respect the commitment. Let's salvage him. And he followed me home. They're filling me with confidence here, aren't they? So earlier Dave said those tapes would get weird, and boy did they.
Let's cut the shit, old sport. I know you're listening to this. Who on earth would buy a franchising kit from a company that killed dozens of innocent children? Aside from you. We are a family, old sport. You were lost, but you soon will be found. I'm going to come find you, old sport. I'm going to come find you.
Trauma aside, we go into the restaurant again. Dave is waiting for us in the safe room. He tells us that he can make us immortal, and all we need to do is accept him. Gotta say, for a psychopathic killer, I actually kind of felt sorry for him, so I decided to let him stay, which was a choice I instantly regretted.
Watch this.
Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit! Is that your spine? Put it back, put it back!
Thank you, thank you.
Thank fuck. Never do that again. Anyway, he puts forward another one of his plans, because they always go well in the past. The first part is, of course, kill a kid. Classic Dave. Although who Dave kidnapped ain't exactly a kid. Should have learned how to walk, idiot. When breaking into this other location, we see Farfor. Farfor? Mash. Fuck it, it'll do. And I thought to myself, absolutely not. That Mickey Mouse reject can stay where he is. Same for Bread Bear and Cool Cat. So, Bonnie is, even without a face, he's better. So, remember when I said Dave can tap into his real world counterpart? Well, that comes into play when Dave confronts us about the murder, but with a new creepy smile that will make Alistair jealous and a casual 9,999 health. We were able to beat them easily. Dave's dying words that will make us see nightmares forever. Unluckily for him, I like law. Terrible punishment. Okay, next part of Dave's plan is to pin on a night guard, because personally, in an animatronic filled world, I think they have it too easy.
Evil Schmiddle, I'm here to have a good time, old sport.
Me too, Dave. Me too. At the end of the day, a police officer told us that the false evidence we've planted got someone arrested.
The DNA was a direct match with one of your employees, a Mr. Bert Weintraub, your night guard.
Hell yeah, framing the innocent. We meet Dave afterwards and he told us that he fixed up this old bear suit and he wants us to wear it. Sure, what can go wrong? Oh god damn it, Dave. After all we've been through. He then tells us it was designed to fail, so I'd be trapped in it. However, it's how we become immortal, but to be honest, I'd rather not be a fucking golden bear forever.
You look on bear, doubly tired.
Ah, fuck, I didn't even think about the puns. Apparently our real name's Jack Kennedy, but honestly, I prefer Dickmaster. Anyway, after a quick drive, we're in Vegas, baby! Vegas doesn't seem to be enough for Dave anymore. Coward. So, after a short drive, we arrive in a bunker, which is meant to be a bunker that sister location was in. And if you watched last Dayshift of Freddy's, you'll know that Dave knew his way around my house, and that's because he connected our vents. Can you imagine your friend coming up to you in the middle of the night and saying, "Oh, by the way, I connected a bunker in between our houses so I can come in whenever I wanted." Then imagine your friend was a prolific child serial killer, and you might feel some of the terror I'm feeling right now. He presents us with a box, and finally after... Wait, when did FNAF 4 come out? Okay, 9 years ago. After a night... Wait, it's been 9 years? Jesus Christ. Oh, I feel so old. We finally get to see what's in the box, and it's all souvenirs from people he killed, including a red scarf, which kind of sets us off. This next bit's really cool, I just kind of wish I wasn't called Dickmaster for it.
Check. I.
It's time.
It's time for you to pay a blood price, William.
Check. Please, don't hurt me. Please, don't do this. I love you.
So, he's finally gone. Good riddance. William was always a foolish creature. Easy to manipulate. No family, no childhood. All I needed to do was make him hope. He died like he lived. A coward. You proved your usefulness to me superbly. And And look at you now. You've blossomed. Of course, I never considered him my partner. He was a lackey, someone I knew how to manipulate. My little puppet. But you have a vile imagination. You have no conscience, no soul, pushing you back. You, with my voice in your head, you shall be my vessel, my partner. It's time. Come. Let us now go forth and show those cattle the joy that our creation will bring.
And then the game crashes. This part was equally as terrifying as it was cool. A big step up from anything we've seen in the franchise before. I'm pretty sure this was the first time we've heard Henry say anything, and yeah, he's terrifying. We also got a lot of interesting lore, but who cares when the last image is as cool as this?
I always come back.
Okay, alright, I guess I'll save the kids this time, if I have to. Okay, so we meet Dave and begin working our way through the arcade, obliterating any animatronic that gets in our way. Wait, if it's children's souls in these suits, then aren't we just killing kids again? You know what, I can live with that. So we obliterate some more children. Fuck's sake. So we obliterate some more children and make our way to the security office. We become worried that nothing happens, but Dave tells us to wait, and sure enough, a golden bear appears. Luckily, he doesn't seem hostile, until Dave starts talking and he recognises his voice. So that's another problem that would have been avoided if it wasn't for Dave's large ass mouth. Anyway, this kid reveals he was the one murdered outside my restaurant in the beginning. We reassure him he's going to be okay and he drifts off into the night. Dave tells us to be careful of his real-world counterpart as he may try to find me, which we already know he does. We tell him not to worry with a lot more truth this time and leave him for a month. Something he's less than okay with, but hey, he's a child murderer. He'll get over it. While robbing one of the other locations, real Dave appears behind us, but we already know how that goes. This time, we stay strong and tell him no, or you know, just run away. That works too. Why do I kind of feel bad for him? But to be honest, I feel a lot worse about leaving him if he didn't follow me home anyway. Okay, next flip side story. Dave tells us that we're going to save the puppet next and that there's layers to the flip side. How do we get there? A portal. I fucking hate this place so goddamn much. I really like that quote. This place is basically just the second location, but the animatronics are tougher. You probably already guessed that though. Hey, nice picture. So there's a door blocking the way forward, which is something I learned last time. So what you have to do is go up here and press a button to open it. Since I already knew that, I tried to do the button first. Turns out, you can't, so I had to go back to the door just to hit the button again. God damn it. Whatever, all that matters is we're moving forward. And here's the puppet, whose name is revealed to be D. Where do I know that from? Anyway, that freaks Dave out a bit. After Dave speaks up, the puppet thinks we've sided with him again. God damn it, Dave, I told you to shut up. She says that we leave a trail of bodies each time we partner up, and personally, I have no idea what she's talking about. We fight her and lose. Luckily, this is like the end of Nightfall in FNAF 5, and we are meant to lose. More lore gets dumped on us that she was the first victim of Henry and Dave. Oh, and she's my sister. Who knew? She's understandably angry at William, but Dave does something that makes her forgive him. He tells her his backstory. And that's it. It's a bit unrealistic, sure, but is it also unrealistic that a murderer killed kids and stuffed their bodies into suits, which later became obsessed by their souls and tried to take revenge on the murderers, who ultimately got away and went to Vegas? Or attended a happiest day, depending on whether you're lame or not? No, it's all completely feasible, but people yiffing the fox. No, nah, I can see that too. People are freaks, man. Everyone being able to go home immediately at closing time? Now that's Fantasyland. Whatever. She's okay with it and we'll move on. Time skip. Dave appears in the back room and tells us to pick right this time. Since we can't run away, we tell him, no, get the fuck out of my restaurant, you prick. He threatens me and leaves. Oh, and this little shit thinks he can show his face again. Get out of here. We're back and we go a level deeper to help our boss in the first game. I know what you're thinking. Didn't he frame you? And yes, Yes, he did. I agree to help him though. My character says it's because we have to save everyone. I just can't let him die without clearing his browser history, which if it's anything like the other phone guys, is something that needs to be done. Hey, like brother, like sister. Alright, next layer, which unlike the other two, doesn't seem to resemble any of the games. There's a chance that it might be the first or second one because of the cellar bar and things, but that's just guesswork on my part. Anyway, this one's fairly different from the other ones because instead of working through the maze until you find where you need to be, this one's a chase with the phone man throwing foxes at you every chance he gets. It's a good thing I'm not a furry. I guess we should be thankful these foxes aren't in bikinis, which is a miracle if you remember his search history. Oh, and the puppets on our team now is a much needed healer. Sick. So, after beating like a million foxes, we finally corner him and beat the shit out of him, because that's what he gets for framing me. We stop because we still want to save him or whatever, and that's when we find out about his backstory, which as we've learned is a great way to get people to forgive you. With some really cool looking pixel art, he shows us an interaction with Henry, and like most people end up with Henry, he ends up very dead, or in a suit anyway. You know, I could have sworn he'd kill him. Guess he checked. Or not. Well, that was terrifying. Oh, and if you didn't know, the phone men are made up of parts of people that died in suits, which is why they have memories of themselves pre-phone. Yeah, makes those little phone man moments a lot worse, huh?
Jack, there's no saving people like me. I'm a coward, plain and simple. I threw everyone under the bus to save myself. And look what I have to show for it.
Oh, and we've got voice acting. Again, big step up. He apologises and lets us save him. Oh, thank you so much for doing that. Dickhead. We finish and go back to the real world, which is not much better. Dave's kidnapped a toddler, and the worst part is, he did it without me. Prick. It faded to pixels, which is really cool, and we negotiate to try and get Dave away from the kid. After Foreman and Freddy...
I am God.
Oh, sorry. God. And a bunch of others come in, we get a lot braver and just tell him to fuck off.
Now get the fuck out of my restaurant.
Which surprisingly works. Next time I'm at gunpoint, I'll try that. Moving on, back in the arcade machine we appear somewhere that looks very much like my home, which isn't creepy at all. The next area is quite cool, there's blood on the floor and creepy looking posters everywhere, and it's definitely the creepiest of the game. And it just got a whole lot worse. This game never gives up a chance to show Foxy in a bikini, does it? There we go, nice and creepy again. We get jumped by these glitchy things that makes me think it was inspired by FNAF World. The creatures consist of some truly horrifying things, like Bread Bear, Stripper Foxy, and worst of all, Matt. How does he even look creepy in 8-bit? Regardless, we get to the end of this ever-changing corridor and meet our brother. Okay, so this is Shadow Doggo. Because you're soulless, you have to assume your soul would be somewhere, and there he is, as a Shadow Doggo. The plan was to make Henry confront his victims to see if he felt remorse. He's been keeping them alive down here and torturing him like a certain someone in another franchise. We point out that if he's kept alive he's too dangerous, so we need to kill him, and after a long ass argument, we win, because we're the protagonist. Wait, if he's my soul, isn't he the protagonist too? I'm not going to look into it. Either way, we have to go back to the living world one more time to sort something out. I find it funny how they're all like, yeah, let's end this, and I'm like, can I go? I got better shit to do. Those better things include Dave, because all better things include Dave. We ordered Phone Man to border up all the windows or doors in the pizzeria, and that's when Dave shows up. With a fucking army. I don't even know what's going on here. You know those drawings people do of visual representations of mental illnesses? Well, this'll be MatPats. After Dave shows his ass to them and brags about how he's gonna win, we reveal this is exactly what we wanted, and he's a moron. Since he brought all the animatronics in one place, we can burn it all down and free them all. The fact that this ends exactly like the 6th one is something I'm not mad at, since again, it's my favourite one. Arson. Okay, back to the machine, and Henry's here, and who would have guessed? He's kind of scary. He's also got a really cool name.
The Void Walker.
Okay, so this boss fight's a lot different from the other ones. He has these eyes around him called the Spiteful, which is a pretty cool name. And after you kill all of them, then you can damage him. Luckily, Dave came in clutch by knowing a move called Corrupted No More, which again is a very cool name, and has a 1 in 3 chance of killing them instantly. So among various other attacks, we just spam that until they all died. Very Pokemon of me, I know. But what are you going to do about it? That's right, nothing. Henry uses Honesty, which is super effective, which I imagine it would be. I can imagine him saying, "You look fat in that shirt." Oh, well, I didn't think it looked that bad, and you're matching it with those trousers? You know what? I envy your ability to not care about your appearance. Instant death. Oh yeah, and they kill you instantly. Maybe just try be like, yeah, well your pink face doesn't match your pink body. Did you run out of time getting ready this morning or what? I don't know what I'm doing, but whatever. Dave, being the best character in both playthroughs, kills them all but dies in the process. A true hero. It's meaningless, however, as we just bring him back and we fuck him up. I imagine it plays out like the fight in JJK between Yuji, Toto and Hanami. He's dead is what I'm saying. And everyone gets their tearful goodbyes. There's only one person I care about.
Jack, I don't know what to say. I'm going to miss you, Sportsy. I won't go. I can't go. I can't lose both you and Henry. You're the tangerine to my ambition, the clementine to my own marriage line. I'm not strong enough to go alone. Not again. Sportsy, what did you just give me? What? This is... You're so... Oh, sport. I don't know what to say. So, this is it then. I guess this is goodbye.
Dave, you are a complete and utter weirdo. It shouldn't be at all hard to say goodbye to you. And yet, it is.
Sportsy,
Goodbye, William. I hope you can find peace with what you've done.
Goodbye, old sport. Thanks for putting me back together.
We flip back to the pizzeria, and as it all burns down around us, we see him, the real Fredbear. And among these amazing graphics, we find peace and burn up with the restaurant. And that's the end of all of it. And there's our graves. Jesus Christ. How did a silly little game that's intro played Rick Astley turn into this? Something so well told and well made. It kept the humour up but gave us so much more. I've already praised the visuals enough, but they're so cool. And I'm so happy that Dave finally got his redemption arc. He's my favourite character in these games, and I often enjoy his questlines more than the actual one. So I'm so happy he actually helped us take down Henry. Now, the game's not perfect. The dialogue can be a bit cheesy and samey when you're saving different people.
You're outnumbered. We aren't afraid of you, and we aren't going to let you hurt anyone else. You're outnumbered, Dave, and we aren't going to tolerate you any longer.
But I enjoyed the game so much I didn't mind. These games have meant so much to me in a really weird way. I remember watching clips of them when I was a kid, and it gave me the idea to make these videos. They feel really nostalgic to me in that weird way, and I love these goofy but heartfelt games. I'm so happy it's a satisfying and good ending to it all, and of course, Dave will hold a special place in my heart. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of sad it's over. Like, I know the developer has made other games, but I don't know. I'm gonna miss all these characters and the goofiness, and even the odd reference to a yiff. So thank you for watching these videos. I really enjoy making them, and I'll see you hopefully in the near future. Bye.